gonna hit that pole. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Car Studio, and I want to apologize first off for not sticking to my, at least 2 videos a week schedule. Like I said in my last video, things are chaotic right now with the start of my busy season and the multiple projects I have going on. With that said, I promise I'm not going to start a bunch of projects and then not finish them like some other YouTubers tend to do. So, today's video, as the title states, I bought the cheapest Countach in the world, and I'm going to show it to you right now. There it is, 1988 Raven Countach. I hope you guys didn't think I meant a Lamborghini Countach, because I don't make any money off YouTube, and I certainly don't make enough money at my day job and everything else I do to afford a Countach. No, this one is a boat, and it is actually called a Raven Countach. Raven is the manufacturer, no longer in business, and Countach is the model. Now, the story of these boats, Raven boats, is kind of interesting, and I encourage you all to look it up because I'm not going to go into detail on it. But basically, this boat designer left, I believe, Regal Boats or Baja, one of the two, and stole a lot of their ideas, some of their molds, and he got into a lot of trouble with it. They were based out of Virginia, and he got the county that the factory was built in to allocate all kinds of money to help establish the factory and build these boats, and the business lasted like just a couple of years, and a lot of money went missing. So kind of a shady character from what I understand, but like I said, look it up on your own, Raven Boats. With that said, this is a very, very rare boat. It's not anything special in my opinion. I mean, it's a decent looking boat. It's got nice lines. I like that it has the black trim and the blacked out windshield, the black handrails up there. I don't like a lot of chrome, and I think it makes this boat look a little bit newer than it is. But it's just a small boat. I think it's 21 or 23 foot, and it just has a 350 small block in it, nothing special. I've owned a bunch of boats. This is actually one of the smallest and slowest boats I've owned, but it should still do around 50 miles an hour. So let me take you guys on a tour of the boat. Let's start here at the stern of the boat, and we're gonna get rid of that name. We're gonna rename the boat, or not rename it, I don't know. I honestly bought this boat just to have something on the water until I buy my nicer boat that I plan on buying this year. An offshore boat, probably like a 32 or 35 foot. And this one will hold me over till then. It's something I can loan out to friends. I can take the family on it in the evenings, and probably just keep it in the water. And also, it's easy to hook to and take to the lake, in a last minute trip. So, Alpha 1 outdrive. It has a 21 pitch stainless prop, which I'm interested in seeing how it gets this boat on plane, because generally a boat this size with a 350 has a 19 pitch. But if that can get it on plane all right, then like I said, this boat should do 50 miles an hour. It has captain call exhaust. If you're not familiar with that, it's a diverter valve basically in the exhaust system, and you can choose whether you have the exhaust come out under here, which is underwater, or out the side here, and it's got these side exits on each side. Of course, I'm gonna have the side exits opened up all summer long. It just sounds like a hot rod on the water, and the gel coat's in really, really excellent shape. I mean, even the rub rail, I think probably this right here is the worst spot on the rub rail. It's not bad at all for a boat that's this old. What is that, 33-year-old boat? The gel coat's not beat up at all. There's no spots underneath that need repaired. It really just needs a wet sand and buff, and I might do that in another video, show you guys how to restore gel coat. But the trailer needs some attention. It's a solid trailer. I'm not a real big fan of roller trailers, but that's what I got with this one. We're gonna sand this down and shoot it with some Royal King tractor paint. I love that stuff. It's a good single stage paint. And coming over here, check out the interior of it. I love the two-tone interior. It really complements the exterior of the boat, and has that 80s sports car theme that a Lamborghini Countach would have. And I really cannot believe how good a shape the interior is. Also, probably won't last that long after this summer, but has a very small cuddy here. More than likely just storage. I know it's dark in there, but there is a 12-inch subwoofer at the front. It's got a stereo that works, surprisingly. This boat has sat for like 2 years, and we actually already fired it up. And I'll get to the engine issue here in a minute and why I got this boat so cheap. But it does still run, and I have a new engine for it already. All the gauges work, all the lights work. It's really has a lot of potential. So let's get into the bilge area and check out the engine. All right, here we are in the bilge area. Let's check out this engine. It's a 350 Mercruiser. I think these made 260 horsepower. You know, nothing to brag about, but definitely will get you down the river. Now, the issue with this boat and why I got it so cheap is they did not winterize it, and caused the block and manifolds to crack. I don't think you can see the block down there, but you can definitely see the manifold. And they tried JB welding it, which typically works. I've done it before and it held up fine. But this one was just busted so bad. And when one freezes this bad, 9 times out of 10, the valley in between the cylinder heads cracks as well. And also there was water in the oil. I don't know if that was a head gasket failure or if maybe the intake gasket was messed up when the block expanded, who knows. But like I said, we have another engine. I'll show you it here in just a minute. Well, as you can see, the manifold on this side is also cracked. There's water in the oil. It did start up, sounded healthy. It's really a shame because I'm sure this boat ran really well. Just previous owner got busy and didn't get it winterized in time, and that is a major key when you've got a boat in changing climates. So here's the Captain Call exhaust that I was talking about. Now my last boat, it had air actuated valves, and you could just push a button up at the cockpit and change it from silent to loud. This one's got like a little set screw here, and then you can loosen that and change where the exhaust comes out of. Obviously it has it on this side as well. I don't know if they knew this or not, but one side was closed and one side was open, so it was halfway quiet, I guess. Man, pulling a motor out of a boat is, especially like this, like a single engine small boat, very simple. Basically you just undo your hose clamps for your exhaust and your shift and throttle linkage right here. There's one wiring harness plug going to the engine electronics, and then your fuel line. And after that, you've got 2 motor mount bolts and it's ready to yank. Now this of course is after you pull the outdrive, which is super easy. It's 6 bolts. Make sure it's always in forward gear when you remove it. I'll show you why here in a little bit. And yeah, it just slides right out, your outdrive. Luckily at my job, we have a forklift here that I'm going to be using to yank this motor out. All right, I won't keep you guys waiting any longer. I paid 800 bucks for this thing. That's right, $800 for a Countach. No, it's not a Lamborghini Countach. It's a Raven Countach, but it's a Countach nonetheless. And right now, this is all I can afford. right, as you can see, the drive is off now. It's super easy. This right here is your shifter. This is why you have to put it in forward when you remove it. Let me show you on this. So this little foot right here, when it's in forward, it allows the drive to slide directly off. If it was in neutral, it would be at an orientation to where the linkage would be fighting it. And but that's it. It's just 6 bolts. Very little oil leaks out when you do that, if any. And I mean, that took me like 5 minutes to do. But now we move to the top and disconnect everything from the engine.